Welcome to the deep dive. You know those stories that just pull you in, where every layer you peel back reveals something even wilder?
Definitely. And today we're diving into just such a story. It's this incredible tangle of crime, hidden identities, and a deception that stretches back decades.
All centered around one woman who, on the surface, had it all.
Right. Our focus today is Avery Mason. She's this powerhouse TV news host, only 32, running a huge primetime show called American Events.
And she wasn't the first choice, was she? She kind of stepped in after the previous host, Matt Carter, passed away.
Exactly, an unexpected rise, but she nailed it. Her ratings went through the roof. She has this knack for, well, intense television.
Oh yeah, she doesn't just report, she does stuff like that stunt where she drove a minivan into water to show how to escape. Crazy stuff, but it worked. Made her appointment viewing.
Totally. And that success means leverage. Right now, she's in these high-stakes contract talks, demanding like 7 figures. The network wants her.
But there's a catch. A huge one.
A massive one. While she's negotiating this huge payday, embracing fame, she's also desperately trying to keep her real identity, her actual history, completely buried. It's this ticking bomb under her life.
Okay, let's get into that secret. Avery Mason isn't, well, it's not her birth name, is it?
Not at all. She was born Claire Avery Montgomery. Changed her name, changed everything about 4 years back, right after finishing law school.
Why the clean slate? What was she running from?
She was running from one of the biggest financial scandals in recent memory. Her father, Garth Montgomery, you might know him as the Thief of Manhattan.
Well, okay. The Ponzi scheme guy.
The very same. Indicted for a scheme worth tens of billions, he posted bail and then just vanished. Federal fugitive.
I can't even imagine growing up with that. The feds raiding your home, your dad being arrested.
And losing everything. The pet house, the mansions, even their fancy sailboat, the clairvoyance, all seized because it was bought with stolen money.
It's not just about the money, though. There was personal tragedy mixed in, too, wasn't there? Her brother.
Yeah, that's a key part. Publicly, the story was that during this whole collapse, her older brother, Christopher, died when the clairvoyance sank in bad weather.
So that loss, that whole family disaster, it fuels her now.
It seems to, and it connects to victims, too, like her old sailing mentor, Connie Clarkson. She lost $2 million investing with Avery's father. That's a heavy weight.
Absolutely. So Avery's in New York for the contract talks, maybe scouting stories. Right. But there's more going on, right? Her secret agenda.
Definitely more. She actually preparing for the worst-case scenario being exposed. She drove cross-country, deliberately avoiding flights, trying to leave, quote, as few footprints as possible.
Wow.
And she meets with this shady document guy, Andrei Schwarzkopf, pays cash for a top-notch fake passport. She's building an escape hatch.
Planning her own disappearance while hosting a hit TV show. That's intense.
It's an incredible balancing act. And while she's doing all this, her professional focus is on this huge dramatic story, a cold case murder.
The one that got buried by 9/11.
Exactly. The 2001 murder of a wealthy novelist, Cameron Young, up in the Catskills. The BCI, that's the state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation, they were looking hard at a woman named Victoria Ford.
A friend of the family.
Yeah. But then 9/11 happened just weeks later, and the investigation basically, like the source says, went up in smoke. Everything stopped.
And the original crime scene details were pretty lurid, weren't they? Which probably explains why Avery, the TV host, is drawn to it.
For sure. It looked like some kind of erotic asphyxiation gone wrong. Complicated knots used to bind the victim's hands, alpine butterfly knots.
And the coroner said suicide was impossible, right? Because those knots need 2 hands to tie.
Correct. And the physical evidence pointed straight at Victoria Ford. Her fingerprints, her blood was at the scene.
Didn't she have an explanation for the blood?
She did. She claimed she cut herself trying to cut the rope, trying to save him. But then this amateur sex tape leaked, showing her in a dominatrix gear. The media went wild. She looked guilty as sin.
Okay, so fast forward 20 years. Why is this case suddenly back in the headlines? Why is Avery digging into it now?
It's a bombshell reason. Victoria Ford's remains were just identified from 9/11.
What? How?
New DNA tech. They identified her from a single tooth fragment recovered from the World Trade Center site after 20 years.
Unbelievable. So the suspected killer is now officially a 9/11 victim.
Right. Talk about a narrative flip, and Avery's network is eating it up. Plus, Victoria's sister, Emma Kind, comes forward with this old answering machine tape.
From 9/11 itself.
Yeah. It's Victoria, trapped in the North Tower, calling her sister, sobbing, saying she's innocent, and begging Emma to clear her name. Powerful stuff.
Okay, but Avery's not just taking the dramatic story at face value. She's a real investigator. She digs into the old files.
She does. She sits down with the original detective, Walt Jenkins, and reviews everything. And almost immediately, she finds a hole. A big one.
What is it?
It's the rope. The white rope used for those complicated knots. If Victoria cut herself badly enough to leave blood drops on the carpet, why wasn't there a single trace of blood on the white rope itself?
That is a problem. It suggests, well, maybe she wasn't cutting the rope when she bled, or someone else tied the knots.
Exactly. It screams evidence tampering, or at least that the original story doesn't hold water.
Which leads us to the detective, Walt Jenkins.
Right. He's retired, living down in Jamaica, trying to escape his own demon survivor's guilt over a partner's death. Some complicated feelings there.
But he gets pulled back in.
Yeah, his old boss calls him back to New York, says they need him for a special assignment. Walt thinks he's just consulting.
But it's not that simple.
Not even close. It's actually an FBI sting operation. Walt is unknowingly being used as bait.
Bait for who?
Avery, for Avery. His mission, given by the FBI, is get close to Avery Mason, help her with the Cameron Young investigation, seem genuine, but really, use that access to find her fugitive father, Garth Montgomery.
Wow, so the FBI is using her investigation to hunt her father.
Yeah.
And Walt is the inside man.
Yep. And the twist is, Walt actually starts to fall for her. He's supposed to be manipulating her, but he gets drawn in. They share stories, trauma.
But her story about losing her brother, Christopher.
Exactly. And Walt's own baggage. They connect, which makes his FBI handler role incredibly difficult, personally.
Okay, so Walt's spying, Avery's investigating, and then Avery finds something completely unexpected about the Victoria Ford case, doesn't she? Nothing to do with the murder itself.
Totally out of left field. She gets her hands on Victoria Ford's old, unpublished manuscripts, and she realizes they're identical, word for word.
Identical to what?
To the Peg Perugo novels, those huge bestsellers.
Wait, Peg Perugo? Weren't those written by Natalie Radcliffe, Victoria's best friend, the ER doctor turned novelist?
The very same. Avery realizes Natalie has been publishing Victoria's stolen work for years, making millions. It's massive plagiarism.
Okay, that's huge. But how does that connect back to Victoria supposedly dying on 9/11?
Avery puts it all together. Victoria was facing almost certain conviction for murder back in 2001. She was in her lawyer's office, yes, in the North Tower when the plane hit, but thousands escaped that day.
You're saying?
Avery theorizes Victoria didn't die, that she saw an opportunity in the chaos. With help from her best friend Natalie, the ER doctor, with medical access and knowledge.
They faked her death. Used the confusion of 9/11.
That's Avery's theory. The tooth fragment may be sourced, may be planted by Natalie to provide official proof of death years later. And Victoria, she vanished.
Where does Avery think she went?
Maybe Santorini, somewhere remote. Still alive, still writing the manuscripts that Natalie publishes as Peg Perugo, funding her hidden life.
This is wild. So Avery, who's hiding her own identity, is now hunting another woman who staged the ultimate escape using 9/11. And all the while, the FBI is using Walt to hunt Avery's fugitive dad.
The layers are just,
Yeah.
incredible. Parallel fugitives, parallel deceptions.
Until they collide. What happens when Avery finds out Walt is spying on her?
That's the turning point. Her passport guy, Andre, gives her photos proving Walt's surveillance. She knows.
Did she run? Use that escape plan?
No, that's what's amazing. She does the opposite. She confronts Walt, calls him out, but then she recruits him. She basically says, I know what you're doing, but I think your feelings for me are real. Help me.
She trusts him. Or uses him.
Probably a bit of both. She forces him to pick a side, and then she launches what the sources call her long game.
Okay, what's the long game?
It starts with a phone call. Avery calls her father, Garth Montgomery, at his hideout. Turns out he's in a cabin up near Lake Placid.
She found him.
Or maybe always knew. She records the call, gets his location locked down, and then hands the entire recording over to Walt to give to the FBI.
Just like that. Gives up her fugitive father.
Just like that, but she makes one crucial demand for the raid.
Which is?
Body cams. Microphones. She insists the FBI agents wear full recording gear during the capture.
Yeah.
She wants the whole thing documented, filmed.
For her show.
Partly, maybe, but mostly for the spectacle. Think about it. The FBI SWAT team storming a remote cabin to catch the infamous thief of Manhattan. It's guaranteed to be massive news. A huge media circus.
A distraction.
A massive nationwide distraction. Because handing over her father, the man she hates, the man who ruined everything,
Hmm.
that wasn't the real endgame.
So what was, if not her father?
Her brother, Christopher.
Christopher, the brother who died, the one presumed drowned when the sailboat sank.
He never died. He faked his death back then with the sinking of the clairvoyance. It was his way out, clearing him of any connection to the Ponzi scheme fallout. He'd been hiding all these years, waiting.
Waiting for what?
For Avery to execute this plan. The capture of Garth Montgomery was the smokescreen, while the FBI and the media were totally focused on Lake Placid.
Christopher makes his real escape.
Exactly. Avery had just finalized that huge contract, got a $3 million signing bonus. She uses it immediately.
For Christopher.
Yep. Gets him a new identity. Aaron Holland, using another set of flawless documents from Andre. Buys him passage on a cruise ship out of New Orleans, heading for Jamaica. Sets him up with funds.
She used the FBI's takedown of her father to give her brother complete freedom.
A clean break.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't stop there. With part of that bonus money, she also repaid Connie Clarkson, her old mentor, the full $2 million her father had stolen.
Wow. Cleaning up the past in multiple ways. Calculated, but also sort of honorable in a twisted way.
It's incredibly complex. Months later, things have settled. Avery visits Walt down in Jamaica.
And Christopher is there as Aaron Holland.
Settled in, yeah. Working at a rum distillery, living quietly. Avery's got her $3 million a year contract locked in for 5 years. Her expose on her father. Huge ratings. 22 million viewers for the finale.
And the Cameron Young case, what happened there?
Her investigation, specifically pointing out the blood evidence discrepancy with the rope, forced authorities to reopen the case. They're now looking seriously at evidence manipulation from the original investigation.
So she kind of won on all fronts. Exposed her father, reopened a potentially corrupt case, secured her career, and saved her brother.
Pretty much. She played the system, used the FBI's own goals against them, all to engineer freedom for Christopher by sacrificing the father who had betrayed them both.
It's an astonishing story of manipulation and, I guess, loyalty. But there's one last kicker, isn't there, about Victoria Ford?
Ah, yes. The final twist in the tale. Because while Avery poked holes in the case against Victoria, seemingly backing up that desperate 9/11 plea of innocence,
The cruise was darker.
much darker. It comes out via the latest Peg Perugo novel, the one titled The Perfect Murder.
Written by Victoria, published by Natalie.
Exactly. And hidden within the fiction is a confession. The novel's climax describes a murder scenario identical to Cameron Young's, revealing that the protagonist, based on Victoria,
Was guilty all along.
guilty. She did kill Cameron Young. She planted her own blood to confuse things, faked her death in the chaos of 9/11, escaped justice entirely, and then years later basically confesses in a best-selling novel.
That's chilling. A confession hidden in plain sight, mocking everyone.
It really is. So it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Avery ran from her past as Claire Montgomery, built a new life, then engineered this incredibly complex plan to save her brother, letting him disappear as Aaron Holland.
While Victoria Ford committed murder, faked her death, and then bragged about it in fiction.
So the question we leave you with is this. What really constitutes the perfect escape, the perfect deception? Was it Victoria Ford's murderous vanishing act? Or was it the intricate web Avery Mason spun, the betrayals, the distractions that allowed her brother Christopher to truly achieve a new life, completely untethered from the past? Something to definitely chew on.